Hello, hello.
Hello. Welcome to our fearless lovers.
Yes, fearless lovers. So, what are we going to talk about today?
Talking about anger.
Anger.
Anger in relationships.
Yes, yes. And anger is one of the most hardest things for people to address, right?
People don't
Nobody
want to
wants
admit. They don't want to admit that they get angry.
Yeah,
Really, if you ask anybody, I don't never get angry.
that's right. I don't have a problem with anger.
If you ask anybody, they say I don't never get angry. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't need no help with that.
Right.
So today we're going to talk about why it's important for you to control your anger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of us know that we've done some things in the past that have said some things to people that we really want to take back, and it's tough. It's tough.
Mm-hmm. So here it is. We do anger management for the court, and these are the reasons why people walk into our office or call us up, for our over-the-phone sessions or sign up for our course in anger management. You can face criminal charges.
Yeah, a lot of people. That's how they really realize that. Okay, I have an anger problem, or I may be seeing things differently than other people see. Because we really don't want to admit that we have an anger problem. But if you feel like you're seeing things different, or you're always getting in trouble, or people leaving your life, like maybe it be a loved one or friends or those kind of things, you'll end up by yourself if you start being angry toward people.
And the reason why we want to kind of list these reasons out is so that you can kind of catch it before it gets to this point.
Yeah.
Because that's the issue, Usually people call us when they're in crisis. Not when maybe they yell at a coworker and their boss takes them in the office and says, hey, maybe you shouldn't talk to, your colleagues in this way.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have a problem with anger.
Yeah.
But when they get fired,
that's when, and then it's kind of like a spiraling effect. So you go home, you're upset about losing your job, and then maybe you tell your spouse or loved one that, oh man, I lost my job. Then they get upset, and then you may really need this job, to feed your family, and then also, people are gonna talk around the neighborhood. Oh, so and so got fired, this got fired, and then if it's a pattern, then people can start looking at you in a different way.
So with one, catch it on the front end. Catch it before you have criminal charges. Catch it before you're in a place where your wife is like, I'm ready to divorce you. Catch it before, maybe your family gets broken up. This is real, people have children. Now you can't get along with your partner. Now you can't see your kids but once or twice a week. So catch it before it even gets to that. And if it has gotten to that, you can turn it around by how you communicate with each other. Heartbroken children, your finances get messed up. Just think about divorce, how that rocks your financial world. Now you got to sell your house, your assets, you got to split things up, you got to pay child support. These are real issues. Depression, if you lose interest for things that you like to do, you get really down, life gets really hard. It gets hard to get out the bed, it gets hard to do things. All because of an anger outburst potentially, and a loss that resulted from that. Health complications, addiction. That's a major issue with addiction, is that spiraling of that anger and the irritability and coping with anger by maybe having a drink or doing some other things you shouldn't do. So, publicly you could be embarrassed, career difficulties, and most importantly, you lose a lot of time.
And a lot of stuff that has been said that you can't really change people's perceptions on your of that image that they have of you too. So people have that high image of you, but then if you do things to break that image down, then it's only because of you that they have formed those opinions of you. So you have to be aware and understand your actions, because if you don't, you always know that people are always taking notice, and you're jeopardizing a lot of things, whether it be your livelihood, your family structure, all of those things. You could be jeopardizing, and just one outburst, just one, and because it just takes a split second to throw away everything.
Pastor Duran, talk about Jesus turning over the tables in the tabernacle.
He got angry. Because basically he was upset about them turning his father's house into like a storefront. They was trading and all those things. So he was upset, and of course that was fulfilling prophecy as well. But everybody gets angry. That emotion takes over you. And when that emotion takes over, then it's how you react to it. So are you going to turn over some tables and get upset? Jesus was able to do it because he was the Son of God. But if you turn over some tables at work, if you turn over some tables in a restaurant, then you may be subject to jail time. And that's a real thing, because people do get upset, whether it be in an argument, you could be in a public place, restaurant or whatever, get into an argument, and then somebody calls the police that's not really in that argument, but then police get involved, and then somebody could be going to jail, and you could be jeopardizing your livelihood. We've seen nurses come in and doctors and lawyers. I mean, they're jeopardizing certain things because they got angry over certain things, because we're all people, we're all human. Nobody's perfect. Nobody always has the right answer. None of these things. So we do make mistakes. But we want to try to catch ourselves before we get to that breaking point of making that mistake.
So rule number 1, anger is on levels. You could be angry at 100, maybe at 50%, 30%. So it's just knowing yourself and learning yourself so you can control it before it gets to 100.
Because when you hear that song in your head, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, that's what's going to happen. You're leveling up to the outburst, and if you do have that outburst, then you're jeopardizing a lot of things, a lot of things.
And just, also with that, anger kind of clues you into if your values are being impacted and if you feel passionate towards something.
Right.
So if you're really getting angry, it's because deep down in your heart you feel passionate about it and you feel like maybe you're under a threat or attack. So those values are being, threatened at that moment. So you feel that passion. So just learning to control it before it gets to 100 is why it's so important to manage your anger.
It's very, very important. Very important.
So, with that, like we said, it's okay to be angry. It helps you maintain your values, but just think of all the things you lose when you lose control of your anger, your self-control. Other people don't respect you as they should because they have no control over themselves, The privacy of your thoughts, direction, your mental well-being. Just think if you're always in that keyed up state, how you're going to function. You're going to have a hard time concentrating and focusing and resting.
But people would love to see you have an outburst. They love to see you go off because that's something that they've always wanted to do but then just couldn't do. But when you do it, just know that now you've already just cast judgment on yourself, basically. Because people know your most intimate thoughts about that situation. You show your emotions. You wear your heart on your sleeve. Those type of things. So people take notice of that.
So we're going to close with that. But most importantly, know that when you express anger at 100%, you're giving away your peace. You're giving your control to whomever you're angry at that point. They win.
Yep.
Because they've allowed your emotions to become so heightened that you have no control over yourself anymore.
Right.
And a lot of times that's what they want, is your energy.
And your serenity and your peace, that's what they want, especially if they have stressed out lives and things that they've been going through. So it's best to come to them from a place of understanding and love. And that anger, if you can control yours, then you can control things around you, or people around you as well.
So fearless loving. Love one another.
Right. Stay away from anger, man.
Yeah, control it. All right. We'll talk to you soon.